Hey there, when you see a shower, a lot of times the attention goes towards the tile and the fixtures, but the real MVP is something you can't see. It sits behind the tile, it's the waterproofing. And when I redid this shower about 6 years ago, I used Schluter Kerdi Membrane, this orange stuff, and it has worked perfectly. I've had 0 issues. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this stuff is and how to use it. Waterproofing in a shower is essential, and a quick demonstration of just how well this Kerdi membrane performs. I've got some blue colored water. We're going to let it sit for a while to see if we have any leakage through it, and we'll check back on it in a little bit. Kerdi falls into one of several popular categories when it comes to waterproofing. One of the oldest methods that's still regularly used is a liner with mortar bed. In this one, a mortar bed is created with a plastic liner embedded that serves as the water barrier. Another common option is to use a roll-on membrane such as RedGuard or Hydroban. These can be used with a mortar bed and eliminates the need for a plastic liner. The roll-on can also be used on the walls and creates a rubber-like barrier. There's also the traditional prefabricated shower pans and walls, often made from fiberglass. And then we have one of the most foolproof methods for waterproofing, which is the use of the sheet membrane. And that's the category that Kerdi falls into. The way that Kerdi works is through a plastic membrane that's embedded within these layers of fibrous material. The plastic layer is what provides the waterproofing ability, while the fibrous layers on both sides allow this to bond with the thin set. And the overall thickness of the Kerdi is only about 0.5 millimeter, so we're not adding a whole lot of thickness onto the wall. There's a lot of work that goes into a bathroom remodel, and once the tile goes up, you don't get to see what's behind it anymore. And that's why it's critical to make sure you're not cutting corners on waterproofing. It's definitely not the sexy part of the project, but it's what protects everything you just spent time building. Now we're going to hop back in time, and I'm going to show you how I installed Kerdi in order to waterproof this shower. I'm going to be using this to waterproof my shower that I'm redoing here in the bathroom. You can see I've got it drywalled currently, and I'm about to get this installed. I'm using a 1/4 by 3/8 inch trowel. I've got unmodified thin set here, and I've mixed it up to a pretty thin consistency. It holds the trowel a little bit, but is definitely thinner than most of the thin sets that you'd use when applying tiles. The thin set gets spread evenly across the wall with the trowel, and the goal is to have uniform coverage of the wall to ensure a strong bond when the Kerdi is set into place. I had lines on the wall to indicate the shower area, so I knew how far I needed to spread, and it really is best to work in small sections to ensure the Kerdi doesn't start drying out before the membrane's applied. After setting a pre-cut piece of Kerdi onto the wall, I used a 6-inch putty knife and just gently scraped the surface, working from the center outwards to squeeze out any excess thin set and also to remove any air bubbles. Taking your time on this step is key because it helps ensure you get a solid bond and a smooth surface ready for the tile. Every now and then, it's not a bad idea to peel a corner of the Kerdi back and check for full coverage. You want to make sure that thin set has fully transferred to the membrane with no dry spots. If you see that the membrane starts to not stick very well, a lot of times it's because the thin set has become too dry. In this case, it's best to pull off the Kerdi, scrape off the dried thin set from the wall, reapply some fresh thin set, and reapply the Kerdi. This is just a standard 3x5 shower. Took me about 2 hours to fully install the Kerdi. The longest part was really just applying the thin set on the wall. Putting the Kerdi up onto the thin set was pretty easy. Any seams that I had, I used a 2-inch overlap. And what's nice about the Kerdi is it kind of gives you the template here. So right here, that indicates 2 inches, and so I just overlapped those sections as I was applying it to the seams. It only took 3 tools for me to install this, just a 6-inch putty knife, utility knife to cut the Kerdi, and then my trowel. Along with the roll of Kerdi, there are a few other Kerdi components that make waterproofing easier. There are Kerdi corners for inside and outside corners. These are pre-formed, much easier than trying to fabricate your own with just the Kerdi membrane. We've got mixing valve seals. There's also pipe seals for shower heads. And then Kerdi band can be used to seal seams if you're not able to do the 2-inch overlap. So all the seams and corners tie together to create one continuous waterproof layer. There's also Kerdi board products for walls, niches, curbs, and shower pans, which work similar to the Kerdi sheet membrane. So with the Kerdi being installed, the shower is fully waterproof. That means even drywall that sits behind the Kerdi is going to be water and vapor tight. So a lot of times drywall is not recommended in wet spaces, but with Kerdi, you can actually have drywall behind it. Just a quick peek, no blue dye has entered our bowl yet. That's a good sign. We'll check back on it once more here in a bit. We're now 3 years removed since finishing up the shower, and we've had 0 issues with water damage. But I do want to point out a common misconception that people may have in that tile and grout can provide waterproofing. That's definitely a myth. Let's just try to visualize what might happen if you skip out on the waterproofing. Grout is porous, and it's going to allow water to pass through. So having the membrane will keep water from advancing further into the wall, and without any sort of waterproofing, the inside of the wall is going to be prone to mold and potentially structural damage. Another myth is that the seams in a sheet membrane will leak, but with Kerdi and other membranes, they're designed to have overlap at the seams to create a continuous waterproof barrier. And as we saw earlier, Kerdi is only about 0.5 millimeter thick, so you're not going to add a ton of thickness by overlapping a couple pieces. Another common myth is that if the membrane gets damaged, you're going to have to start over. This is not true. If the membrane gets nicked during installation, it can just be patched with another piece of Kerdi using the 2-inch overlap. And probably the most common myth is that waterproofing showers is complicated. And that's one of the reasons why sheet membranes like Kerdi are so popular. It's because they have a waterproof layer that's visible while you install it, so you can actually see that everything's covered appropriately. Plus, you can test it before actually installing the tile. And ultimately, it is not hard to find success when waterproofing with Kerdi. It's simply a matter of adding another layer between your tile and your substrate and making sure your seams are appropriately sealed. All right, we're now looking at the first bathroom that I remodeled in this house. And for this one, I used a roll-on waterproofer. And while rolling on the membrane was easy enough, it took multiple layers to achieve the required thickness. Even then, I can tell you, I didn't have nearly as much peace of mind as I've had when using the Kerdi membrane. Now, while I've shown you my experience with the Kerdi, let's just go ahead and look at our test one last time. This has been sitting here for several hours and still no ingress of the blue dye into the water below, proving out the waterproofing capability with this Kerdi membrane. So there you have it. That is the Kerdi membrane, and I would highly recommend it for anyone looking to do any sort of waterproofing in their bathrooms. Hopefully you found this video useful. If so, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.